Good afternoon and welcome to the campus of the University of Indianapolis, as it is the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds taking on the Regis Rangers in the second round of the Midwest Regional in the NCAA D2 Women's Lacrosse Tournaments. If you were with us on the stream last Thursday, you saw the Rangers take down Ashland. 17-12 was the final out there as the Eagles put up a good fight in their first ever tournament appearance. And the Greyhounds were just waiting to figure out who their next opponent was going to be. They've got some extended rest as we will take a look at the Greyhounds starting lineup, I believe, here shortly. As this is the group who got the bye with the 2 seed in the Midwest region and the right to host a game as well. Olivia Bladen for the University of Indianapolis, 182 career goals, wears number 45 in white. She will be all over the field today offensively. And as you take a look at the group for Regis, a couple of players to eye on. Their goalie, Bridget Getch, was fantastic in the opening round of the tournament last Thursday. 15 saves she made against Ashland. And then also Shea Murphy, great as well, tied a career-high 7 points. She had 5 goals and 2 assists against the Eagles, as the Rangers are hoping to carry over some of that offensive momentum from a 17-goal performance into this game against the University of Indianapolis. Both teams very good defensively, ranked inside the top 10 nationally in goals against average. On a per-game basis, Greyhounds just a bit better in the goal-scoring department. 15 per game for Indianapolis. Rangers right around 14 goals per contest. Megan Bunker is at midfield for Regis. Took a lot of the draws on Thursday. Olivia Bladen out there for the Greyhounds, and it'll be Indianapolis who gets the first draw control, and opening possession goes to them. Second meeting this season between these two programs. It was a great one to start the year. 8-9 the final. Greyhounds won there. A goal with 14 seconds left, so a bit of revenge on the minds of Regis, you'd imagine, heading into this one. As this is De Silva on the near wing on the opening possession for Indianapolis. It'll be interesting to see if this game is close, if the extra couple of days of rest that the Greyhounds got from earning that first round bye plays a difference in this one or not. The game really wasn't decided against Ashland for Region until late in the fourth quarter as we get our first whistle here. Abby Mays, it looked like, or rather Tara Skillings, who came in and laid a hit that was whistled as a foul. So Greyhounds get the first free position look of the game so far. They elect to pass out of it. This is Bladen with the ball in her stick. Under 40 left on the first possession today. So De Silva has the ball once more. Trying to get past her defender, cannot. Feeds around the crease. Have a good look inside. Shot on the run. It goes just wide. It's Caroline Crouch who got open for that shot opportunity. Back up one by the Rangers. So Regis gets the job done defensively in the opening possession. Clearing the ball will be important today for both of these sides. Regis struggled in that department the first meeting between these two teams. I thank those of you joining us on the stream this afternoon. I'm Harrison Silcox. I'll be with you for the duration of the game. So successful clear for Regis. It'll be the first look at the Rangers offense today. In goal for Indianapolis, Lillian Iman. Regular starter Ava Graham out today. Graham also missed the semifinal in the GLVC Women's Lacrosse Tournament. Graham came back for the championship game, but is out today. So Iman, who's played in 7 different games this season. That one start coming against Rockhurst in the GLVC semis. It is Iman who will be tested here in the NCAA tournament. She does have plenty of playing experience. Played last year as well, a junior out of Roncalli. Not tested there, though, on that first defensive possession for the Greyhounds. Quick work on the clear for Indianapolis. Can they get some quick offense? Great shovel pass inside. Shot, score. Indianapolis in front early. And I believe that's Olivia Bladen opening her bank account this postseason. That is 76 goals on the year for the junior. Out of the Hill Academy, Bladen quietly is well up the rankings historically in goal-scoring numbers for Indianapolis. Third all-time in career goals scored. She's up to 183 now. Fourth all-time in career points. That's 212 for her then. So Bladen, just a junior, climbing high in the record book here at UIndy and has the Greyhounds in front. She's also been good on draws this year, career high in draw controls. All those numbers significantly contributing to her being the GLVC Midfielder of the Year. Greyhounds 2 for 2 out of the draw circle now. De Silva early in the possession. Now throws it up top. Crouch with the ball. That's Michelin. De Silva loses her defender, gets in front, shot, and Getch might have gotten a piece of it. Ball trickles well outside of the cage. New shot clock for Indianapolis. Handful of good looks on goal despite just the one goal to show for it here on the third possession of the day now for this offense. As Kendall Conrad was cutting to the cage, couldn't catch the pass. And just like that, the Rangers are on the clear. Just over 4 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Only one goal between the two sides. Winner moves on to play either Maryville or Grand Valley State next Saturday. Not the cleanest of clears, but Sean Moser gets things done for Regis. We'll see if they can get their first goal on the board, tie this thing up at 1-1. This is Murphy on the far side. Highlighted her at the beginning of this one. 7 points on Thursday. Now Sean Moser, Defender of the Year out of the RMAC. Now shot off the pipe. Rebounds up for grabs. Springman has it in front. Iman made this stop. Springman down on the ground as well as a couple of Greyhounds too. Likely going to be some sort of call against Indianapolis, and Springman getting a look for the 8-meter fan. It was Justine Spar who initially got in and fired a shot off the left post. Heads-up play for Springman on the rebound. And now officiating crew wants to talk things over. So delayed stoppage in play with 10:03 left to play here in the first. Looks like the call was on Olivia Bladen for the Greyhounds. Springman will shoot. That goes off the crossbar. Snake bitten on that possession was Regis. Two great opportunities, and the goalie's best friend, that being the frame of the cage, keeps two very good scoring opportunities out. So a couple warning signs from what Regis can do offensively. But the Greyhounds catch a break, and their lead of just one goal is maintained. And now that's an ugly turnover there for the Greyhounds. Regis back the other way. This is Murphy. 4 Greyhounds around her. Can she weave through all of them? Loses it on her way to the cage. And Iman cleanly controls. It's a matchup between the 2 and 3 seeds in the Midwest region. Regis was a 3 seed a season ago, and they conquered the Midwest region on their way to a march to the national semifinal where they lost to Tampa. Very competitive out of the Midwest. When you have teams like UIndy, Maryville, Grand Valley State, and Regis all in the mix on an annual basis, it seems like. Now a good look inside. Can the Greyhounds make it 2? No. A little bit too much power on the bounce shot, and it was not on target. And that pass is going to go out of play. Greyhounds coming up empty once again on offense. Sean Moser with the ball. Cradles around some pressure. So she gets the job done herself on the clear. Another chance to potentially tie here for Regis. It was a low-scoring game between these two teams in February. Maybe we'll get that again, as it is finally the breakthrough goal for Regis, tied at 1-1. Justine Spar with a handy cut to the crease. Catch and shoot, and the rest is history. We're tied at 1 apiece, 7:48 left in the first quarter. Spar coming off a 3-point performance against Ashland. That's her 33rd goal on the season for the senior out of Utah. As Regis head coach Sarah Kellner probably pleased with that possession. And so how does head coach Peyton Romig's group respond after that as the Greyhounds give up their first goal of the day? Draw controls have been in favor of Indianapolis here in the early going. This is only our third. And get a whistle on that. It's going to be in favor of UIndy. This is Kendall Conrad as it's rotated around now. Savino with the ball. And that was a dangerous stick check thrown in the direction of Savino by Shea Murphy. Actually, Tara Skillings is who the official is going to say this call is on, which is how the Greyhounds are going to get a look at the free position here. It's second one today for Indianapolis. They only had 2 free position looks against Regis in that initial matchup this year. They were 0 for 2. And the Greyhounds opt out of the shot. Now back along the wing. Now Savino, can she get to the cage this time? No, she passes out to the wing. Constant movement from this Indianapolis offense. Regis, though, not giving them any angles to shoot. De Silva from up top now, just under 20 on the shot clock. Low angle shot from De Silva deflects out of play. They will get a reset on the shot clock, Indianapolis does. Gazal. Now back with Savino. Shot was deflected on its way to the cage. That's going to be picked up by Getch. But there was a whistle. That's going to keep it with Indianapolis, I believe. It's going to be a free position as well. Ellie Semeni had her headgear knocked off, it looked like. Now she fires a bounce shot that goes wide. Shot clock continues to roll, under 40 seconds now. Gazal flips one out to De Silva. Cross crease feed. Goes through a couple of sticks before it winds up with Savino. Quick ball movement from Indianapolis, but Regis, no real estate. Are they willing to offer this Greyhound offense as De Silva's just running out of time on the shot clock and just throws it away? As it has been an impressive start to this opening quarter for the Rangers defensively. Regis successful on the clear here as well. Sean Moser up top. Now moves it far side. Can the Rangers get their first lead of the day here? Good look inside to Iman, but nobody was able to catch the ball. Or rather, a good look inside Iman wasn't tested. Looked like Rangers were going to have a good shot opportunity there after finding a cutter in front, but unable to connect with the pass. Now they're able to get a feed inside. Murphy, though, loses it off a stick check. Greyhounds get the ground ball and a whistle that works in their favor. As it looks like we may be in for another defensive battle between these two sides today. These two teams become very familiar with each other in the same region. There's quite a bit of a distance between the two schools, one from Indiana, another from Colorado, but it's the 7th meeting all time. It's also not the first time these two teams are playing against one another in the NCAA tournament. So we've got a ball down. Bladen's there to pick it up for Indianapolis. It's Michelin who initially lost it. And Bladen's got the lone goal for the Greyhounds. Can she get another? Knocked down on her way to the cage. She fell inside the crease. Did it matter? Getch came away with the ball. Three minutes left here in the opening quarter. Only 2 goals between both teams here. As Spaeth finishes off the clear into the attacking zone for Regis. Sunny with temperatures right around 70 degrees today. And right there is your first lead for Regis this afternoon. Megan Bunker, catch and fire. She does so successfully. 2:33 left to play in the first quarter. The Regis fans are loving it. Why wouldn't they? So Bunker gets her first of the day. She has 2 goals to show for her tournament appearances today. The senior from Maryland. It's an experienced group with Regis. A lot of players on this roster, part of a deep tournament run a year ago. Looking to recreate some of that magic here in 2025. They're off to a good start. 2.5 left to play here in the first quarter. Regis by a goal. Greyhounds, though, continuing to do good work out of the draw circle. This is Michelin, who won the draw, carries to the near wing. Now Crouch pushing the ball out to the far side with Bladen. A junior, over 180 goals in her college career. It's a fantastic weapon that Romig has at her disposal, and now you have a defender who slips, and the Greyhounds cash in. That is a goal for Indianapolis with 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Just like that, we're tied right back up, so the Rangers didn't get to enjoy that lead for too long. And that's Emily Gazal who's credited with the score. A redshirt sophomore, part of a young group of talent on this Greyhound roster. From Calgary, gets her 13th goal of the year. Draw control goes to the Greyhounds once again. Bladen doing her job just as she's done all season. Now Savino with the ball on the near side. Regis had won the draw control battle 14-7 when they played Indianapolis in February. Greyhounds, though, off to a great start in that department today. Versace behind the cage, surveying. And moves out to Conrad. Had the game-winning goal against the Rangers at the start of the year. Bladen, no room to work with as you try to drive inside. Ball will be kept with the Greyhounds, though. Savino has it. Conrad, back to Versace. No angle to shoot there for Savino. Rangers get a stick in the passing lane. Greyhounds will keep it, though. Not a lot of time to work with on the possession. Shot, score. Not a lot of time. It didn't matter from Elena Michelin. That is Michelin's first of the day. Greyhounds go back in front 3-2 with 35 seconds left in the first quarter. It's our 5th goal of the day as the goals have started to pour in here with the last about 5 minutes of this contest. Two saves we've seen thus far from Bridget Getch. Not quite the same as the start she got off to against Ashland and a 15-save performance. That was her 7th time this season in double figures for saves. But only 2 here in the first quarter. Greyhounds getting another draw, and a successful clear here will allow them to potentially apply some more pressure if they can create some offense in less than 15 seconds. And they might be able to. Room to work with here for the Greyhounds in transition. Pass down along the crease. Great feed inside, but the shot might have deflected off of a leg. And I believe we may get a yellow card here as well. That was a dangerous shot. With the ball hitting another player, so with 5 seconds left in the first quarter. That is the redshirt sophomore, Emily Gazal, who's given the yellow card. And a player advantage coming up for Regis when we return for the second quarter. You're watching the Division II NCAA Women's Lacrosse Tournament.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back at the campus of the University of Indianapolis, where it's the Greyhounds that lead 3-2 over the Regis Rangers in the 7th meeting all-time between these teams. It's their third meeting at Key Stadium, third meeting in the NCAA tournament. Regis leads the all-time series 4-2. They're just one of 6 programs that have a winning record against the Greyhounds. You've got temperatures in the 70s today. Pretty sunny out as well. Some players on the Regis sideline have got the cold towels out to try and stay cool as head coaches want to talk things over after that first quarter. Mentioned Sarah Kellner, the head coach for the Rangers. Peyton Romig is who leads the sidelines for the Indianapolis Greyhounds. If you're not familiar with her story by now, she played here at Indianapolis, part of that national championship winning team in 2022, and is in her second year as a head coach of UIndy. 27 wins to her name already, to just 12 losses. And that win against Regis earlier in the year for UIndy was their first against the Rangers since 2018. In 2018, Romig was just a freshman on the roster. So a little bit of full circle there, as she is looking for a second win against Regis today, as well as the rest of her Greyhound team is, to try and advance and either play Maryville or Grand Valley State. It was the Saints who got the number 1 seed out of the Midwest region, the GLVC. Very good at the top this season, as they were last year. So you got 2 GLVC teams hosting at the 2 Midwest regional sites. If the Greyhounds win today, it would be their third meeting against Maryville this season. If Regis were to advance, that's assuming Maryville wins. Obviously, Grand Valley State could. Both these teams have played both of those teams over out of the other region. Regis did play Grand Valley State earlier this year. That was a matchup they won. Rangers also did play Maryville. They lost that game 16-9, as the Greyhounds lost both contests against Maryville this season. One of the regular season, and then in the GLVC championship. It's part of the reason why they just were given the 2 seed out of the Midwest. But with the tournament expanding, you've got multiple sites for multiple regions, and that's why we're here today with the Greyhounds hosting and earning themselves a bye as well. This is their first game since that GLVC championship loss to the Saints. And the legs seem pretty fresh with a 1-goal advantage after the first 15 minutes of play. Regis, who had to go through Ashland to get here, has a player advantage to start this quarter, and maybe a good shooting opportunity, and I believe that was a save for Imad, and shot back up going to the Greyhounds as well. So Emily Gazal is still over on the sideline for that yellow card she was handed with 5 seconds left in the first quarter. So a successful clear could go a long way, and the Greyhounds hoping to kill off the rest of that penalty and get back to even strength. We'll see what they want to do on offense here. Not going to have a lot of time at even strength if they wait for Gazal's yellow card to expire. So you assume you're going to see some patience here from the Greyhounds. The question is just how much. As Crouch has the ball on the far side of the field, rolls back and finds Bladen. Yeah, that's a push in the back for Murphy. And that is a yellow card for the cross-check to the back. So we will be at even strength, just not full strength, I suppose. Brand new shot clock for the Greyhounds. And here in about 10 seconds, Emily Gazal's yellow card will expire, and the Greyhounds will have their first player advantage today. Michelin will start with the ball in her stick once the official gives the A-OK on resuming play. A tough break there for Regis. Gazal sprinting back out onto the field. Greyhounds officially with an extra player now. This is Bladen. Now Versace back behind the cage. Gazal trying to find Bladen, and she puts it upstairs for another goal. With 12:45 left to play here in the second quarter, the Greyhounds cash in on the player advantage. So Olivia Bladen has 2 so far today. Greyhounds doubled up the advantage on the scoreboard. And it is 1 yellow card per team so far as well. Gazal getting the first of the day for the Greyhounds. Regis unable to capitalize on the player advantage at the start of the second quarter. Then Shea Murphy handed a yellow card for a cross check. Indianapolis able to make her pay for that one as they go in front by 2. Not the first time Regis has trailed in this young tournament so far this season. Ashland did score the first goal on Thursday. Regis responded well. How do they respond being down 2 here? As an underdog in terms of seeding. And this is a team with a lot of tournament experience. They won the Midwest last year as a 3 seed, which is right where they are again this year as Michelin. It's the draw control. And this is just, as far as game script goes, not exactly how things went the first meeting on this field between these two teams. It was Regis who had the advantage out of the draw circle. That has flipped this time around. A lot of lacrosse left for that to change as the Greyhounds are in some trouble here, but a whistle from the referee will save them. A call goes against Regis. So Whitfield helping get the job done there to go back into the attacking zone with 45 seconds to work with on the shot clock for the Greyhounds. Savino draws a whistle. And another look for the 8-meter coming up for the Greyhounds. They have not shot, well, they've shot only once from a free position look so far today. And Savino will try to tuck her stick inside and do just that. She's tripped up, winds up in the crease, and that possession is over for the Greyhounds. The Regis able to get the stop. It's Tara Skillings clearing all on her own, and a lane to the cage as well as the shot goes just wide. As clear of a lane as you could ask for as a defender. Skillings nearly gets one back on the scoreboard. Rangers, though, still have possession. This is Spar surveying from above the goal. Now Murphy shakes one defender, splits 2, shoots, and Iman makes the save. Long pass across midfield. Ball's back down to the turf. A little bit sloppy here in the clear from the Greyhounds. Rangers are going to come away with the ball, and a call going against Indianapolis. And a green card as well. So Becky Getch is the one who grabbed the loose ball, drew the green card as well. It's going to be a 1-minute player advantage Coming up for the Rangers, Ali Savino for Indianapolis, the player given the green card, looking a little frustrated on her way to the sideline. She doesn't agree with the call. But sloppy from Regis as they turn it over. This is Versace just hanging out with the ball on the near sideline. Greyhounds, if they want, can just let the Savino green card expire, but instead, Bunker's got other plans. She forces the turnover. A little careless with the ball both these teams have been in the last few moments. Now plenty of room to work with for Benton. Now down to the crease on the feed, and somehow Iman makes the kick save, denying Becky Getch. And Iman called into action today, the backup goalie for the Greyhounds. A couple of key saves here in the second quarter. Sloppy play continuing, though, as the Greyhounds just throw one away. It was Amanda Hurry who just put too much air underneath that ball. Just over 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Regis is going to get possession right back. We are at even strength, though. That green card has expired as Ali Savino is back out on the field. And Regis now will get to set up shop and some settled offense, something we haven't seen here for a few minutes. A settled offense from either side. Pass well up top now. Springman with the ball. Good look inside. Wide open on the doorstep was Sheets, and she buries that one. Iman unable to make the stop that time around. And Regis is back within one. Lauren Sheets had a hat trick Thursday. First goal today. As you get a look back at the goal and you just see Sheets, the off-ball movement, nobody picks her up for Indianapolis. And she dunks one home right in front of the Greyhound crease. 8:33 left in the second quarter. Let's see if Greyhounds can continue to dominate in the draw control department today. It's Megan Bunker and Olivia Bladen, the two players who've been there all afternoon thus far. Nearly halfway through the second quarter. And Regis will come away with possession this time around, much needed for the Rangers. And if they can get the ball into their attacking zone, a chance to tie it up for the first time since it was 2-2 back in the first quarter. Greyhounds had a 3-2 goal advantage after the opening 15. As Regis in front gets another. We're tied at 4 a pop. Justine Spar gets her second. Third tie so far today. As the off-ball movement paying off once again for Regis. As you'll get another look at it here in a second with 8:03 left to play. Rangers at a 2-goal deficit, and they've now erased it. As this is a look back at the fourth goal of the day for the Rangers, is Spar able to bury that one as Iman has let in a couple in a row now. So Lillian Iman, only 7 saves on the season for her. She's had 1 start on the year, 7 games played total. And with Ava Graham out today, the regular starter for the Greyhounds, as Iman has been called into action, she's faced some pressure here in the last couple of minutes as the Rangers have caught the waves of momentum. Greyhounds could use the draw control to maybe stifle some of that momentum. Bladen will do just that. Olivia Bladen having a great year out at the draw circle. Career best. 3rd most draw controls in the GLVC this season. Mentioned she was the GLVC midfielder of the year. It's one of 3 GLVC first-teamers. Hollis Rang, Amanda Hurry, the other 2 for the Greyhounds. As De Silva has to throw back behind the goal. Down to 45 seconds on the possession. As Gazal, no room to work with there. Nearly lost the ball, had to go back and find it. As Conrad works it back around behind the cage. Savino, no room to work with. Regis has been fantastic at controlling matchups thus far. I'll get a free position look here, though, for Indianapolis. Alafornik. And her shot goes off the crossbar. We remain tied at 4, 6.5 remaining now in the second quarter. Gazal try to shake free, unable to. It goes back around to De Silva now. Murphy with the matchup here. Now things will switch defensively. It's Versace. Now Kendall Conrad. A freshman with 17 goals on the year before today. Now a shot. That goes just above the crossbar. 25 left on the possession and counting. Versace trying to find a teammate. Floats up top. Back with Conrad. And now Fornick. And a whistle stops play. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. The official saw enough to give a free position look here to Indianapolis. Ellie Simini, I believe, on the edge of the 8-meter. Simini shoots. Getch makes the stop. It's been a little bit more quiet today compared to a fantastic game she had on Thursday. There's always an opportunity to make the next save. Getch doing just that to cap off a brilliant possession offensively from Regis. And as Shaw Moser across midfield and finishing off the clear. And now back with Spar, who's already got 2 goals today. Now this is Becky Getch from behind the goal. Regis led 2-1 back in the first, so a chance to capture their second lead on this possession. And a good look inside. Somehow Iman making the stop. Still with Regis, though. Benton had to look inside and was denied, but the hustle to get the ball back and earn herself a free position as well. As possession far from over defensively for Indianapolis. Waiting on a shot clock reset here with 4:44 left in the second quarter. Iman did make the save, so 58 seconds is now where the shot clock is at. Benton will shoot. Iman with 2 stops in his possession now. But a good box out on the ground ball. Sheets had it and then was shoved by a couple of Greyhounds. So she lost the ball, but because of the call, it'll stay with Indianapolis. Down to 4.5 left to play, and about 4 more seconds going to be added to that shot clock once more because of the Iman save. Springman. Now Getch. Getch lost the ball. Greyhounds got the ground ball, and then Getch came in and put in a tough shove. That's a call that goes against her. It was Amanda Hurry who was the first to that ground ball. Paid the price physically, but her team's got possession. Hurry was slow to get up. Seems okay now as the pass goes ahead to Bladen. One more into the attacking zone with Michelin. Indianapolis will try to go back in front. Michelin looking for some quick offense. No room to shoot. Good recovery from Regis defensively. Now a great look inside, and it is Conrad who scores. First of the day for the freshman. Greyhounds go back in front. Alexa Versace with the assist as you get another look at the goal right here. See the good off-ball IQ from the freshman. It pays off. She scores, is in the goal-scoring column today on the stat sheets. 5-4, Greyhounds go back in front, 3:35 left to play in the second quarter. As we are just about 50 minutes away from that Maryville Grand Valley State game starting as well. To mention the winner of today's contest will get the winner of that game. And Bunker did come away with the draw control, but the ball was in and out of her stick, so she chases it down one more time. And now Regis can breathe a little bit easy with some control with the ball. So what is the response after trailing once more? Tara Skillings gets the job done at the clear again. Aubrey Benton now moves it back up top. It's rotated around to Shaw Moser now. Shaw Moser, RMAC Defensive Player of the Year, number 9 in blue. But logs plenty of time on offense. Had a goal on Thursday. She's trying to work for some real estate here, but Bladen giving her none of it. Murphy rolling back. Ducking through some stick checks. Bouncer might have been deflected on the way to the cage. Shot clock is at 20 unless we get a reset. Not sure if Iman got a piece of it. Officials say no, she did not. So still alive in the possession, but with not much time left is Regis here. Hurry's just going to pick up the ground ball. Tiptoe along the sideline of the far end of the field. And just like that, numbers for the Greyhounds. Hurry down to the crease. Conrad tried to make it too straight and just shot wide. Wanted to paint that bottom corner. Could not. A great transition opportunity for UIndy, but their lead stays at 1. Almost wrapped up with the first half of play here. Patience here from Indianapolis. Down to just 30 seconds left on the possession. This is Conrad who nearly scored a moment ago as she finds Alexa Versace. Now to give back to Bladen. One more pass down to the crease, but a whistle was blown beforehand. Shooting space, I believe, is the call. So Bladen will get a chance on a free position look here. Shot will go. Bladen with another. This time it's a bounce shot that gets the job done. Greyhounds match their largest lead of the day of 2 goals as Bladen has a first half hat trick. 185 career goals now for the junior. And here it is one more time. As she uses the turf to her advantage. So 55 seconds remain. Greyhounds had a 2-goal lead. Rangers were able to knock things back at 4-all. Indianapolis responded with another pair of goals. We'll see if we can get one more from one of these teams before they head into their respective locker rooms. Greyhounds advantageous from the draw circled once more. Michelin was able to cash in on the loose ball bouncing in her direction. Gazal pressured a little bit, Bladen back with it. Romig has all 3 timeouts if she wants to use one here. But they won't need to. It's a 3-goal lead now for the Greyhounds. Sage De Silva finding the back of the net for the first time today. 7-4. Indianapolis just 2 goals shy of their goal total in the first meeting between these two teams. As 12 in white just calls her own number here on this possession with 22 seconds left to play here in the first half. Here it is one more time. There's De Silva on the blow-by from goal line extended. Help comes late defensively. And just like that, Indianapolis in front by 3. Here in the second round of the NCAA Women's Lacrosse Tournament. Division II, that is. Still time for one more goal here. Greyhounds getting another draw control as well. And things going as well as you would want it to go. If you're Indianapolis, you would imagine here in this first half, they're having to play their backup goalie, but they're winning draws. They're dominating time of possession. And also up on the scoreboard with 30 minutes of game action in the books. Stay with us, folks. We've got some first half stats coming up for you here in just a little bit. And obviously the third and fourth quarters as well here in the second round of the Division II Women's Lacrosse Tournament.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. I just, as a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard. You have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Welcome back to the University of Indianapolis. It is halftime here at Key Stadium with the Greyhounds leading the Regis Rangers 7-4 with 2 quarters in the books. It's the largest lead of the day for Indianapolis as we look at your first half statistics, as the Greyhounds leading in the shots category as well as saves, tied up in ground balls. And then you take a look at the clearing numbers where it is the Greyhounds who have 2 failed clears so far on the day and just 9 clearing attempts. Regis 12 of 13. As if you remember from this matchup last time, Regis really struggled in the clearing department. They've done a better job taking care of the ball. They were 13 of 9 when it came to clearing. Greyhounds were perfect on their clears when they met back in February. If you want to know some individual scoring statistics so far today, we will start with Regis leading the way in points on their team. She doesn't have a goal, but 3 assists is Becky Getch. And then you've also got Justine Spar. She's the only Ranger who's got multiple goals in the afternoon. She has 2. Bunker and Sheets each have a goal for Regis. And now for the Greyhounds, you have Gazal, the redshirt sophomore, with 2 assists and a goal, good enough for 3 points for her. Olivia Bladen leading all goal scorers with a first half hat trick. Kendall Conrad with a goal and an assist. You also got De Silva and Michelin each with a goal, and then a single assist going to Alexa Versace, the junior and Limestone transfer. We will have the third quarter, though, coming up for you in just a few minutes. Do not go anywhere. Greyhounds in front. Winner moves on to the NCAA tournament. It is 7-4 at the halftime break.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today. You know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down, and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. As a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion, and so I don't care.
Teams out of the locker room and starting their abbreviated warm-ups before we get started in the third quarter here in the second round of the NCAA Division II Women's Lacrosse Tournament. I'm Harrison Silcox with you on the broadcast this afternoon. Greyhounds, if this score holds, are 30 minutes away from advancing to the next round. That would either be a meeting with Maryville or Grand Valley State. That game just about to start here in about under a minute. So be watching multiple scoreboards. I'm sure many of you will, as I will up here in the press box at Key Stadium. With one half in the books, though, here it is Indianapolis who leads by 3. Olivia Bladen, the GLVC midfielder of the year, with a first half hat trick. And the third tournament meeting between these two programs. It's just the third time that Regis has been playing UIndy at the University of Indianapolis. The second time they had ever done that was back in February. I've highlighted that matchup multiple times today. Jog your memory, it was a 9-8 Greyhound win. The game was decided with 14 seconds remaining when Kendall Conrad had the game winner. And Conrad does have a goal so far today, the freshman for UIndy. Her 18th on the season. For the Regis Rangers, they beat Ashland on Thursday to get here behind some great play and goal from Bridget Getch. As Getch with just 3 saves there in that first half, and then also some great play from Shea Murphy. She had 5 goals and 2 assists on Thursday. Does not have a goal so far today. Murphy's had a goal in every single game this season, except for that matchup against UIndy back in the 21st of February. So the Greyhounds have found a way to slow down Murphy, it would appear. We'll see if number 19 for the Rangers can find the scoring touch here in the second half. Regis will need her. Both these teams very good defensively. As Amanda Hurry hits the ball, and Draw control's a huge aspect of the first two quarters. Greyhounds have been very good there today. Only had 7 draw controls last time out against Regis, but have been much better since. Their draw control percentage of the year just above 50, right around 54%. Shot save from Getch. So right on cue, Getch gets her 4th stop of the day. Gazal had an open lane to the cage, and Getch said no. So back on the ride goes Indianapolis. Now this is Becky Getch. Now throwing back to Lauren Sheets. And around to Spar. 2 goals for her in the first half. She leads her team. This pass out to Murphy, and it'll just roll out of play. So the struggles continue for Shea Murphy. And 71 points on the season. That includes that Thursday matchup. Murphy not on the score sheet yet today. Bladen. Inside. Shot could not go on frame, and this one goes out of play. De Silva will resume. Finding a cutter. Shot goes bar down. Greyhounds get another. This one courtesy of Caroline Crouch and her first of the day, and it is 8-4. As the Greyhounds putting out exactly the kind of play they were probably hoping for in a game like this. The 4-goal lead with a bit of breathing room on the scoreboard and finding success in the draw circle as well. Worth noting, Maggie Ship for Regis has not played the majority of this season. And she did have 4 points and was playing in the first matchup between these two teams. You wonder how her absence impacts today's game. As Michelin trying to start some action in transition. Getch makes another stop. Boy, what that could have done for the momentum for Indianapolis. Now Crouch, who just had the goal, back out on the field, has to chase down this loose ball. And gets away from some pressure as well. Three minutes gone by. Largest lead of the day currently for the Greyhounds. De Silva. And now we get a whistle. That goes against Regis, and it is a yellow card. Second yellow card of the day against Regis. Get a fresh shot clock, 11:36 left to play in the third quarter. Abby Mays given the yellow card. That's her first today. Shea Murphy is the player who received the other yellow for the Rangers. So two players with a yellow card for Regis. Gasol does also have one for the Greyhounds. And somehow Getch making that stop on the fly. That's a big save to keep Regis in this thing, trailing by 4. They need some offense. Skillings will lose the ball. Kept in play, though. There's a crimson line on the far side of that field. Tough to pick up, but the officials got the eye on it. That's what's most important. But though Regis, having one failed clear in the first half, just had their second. De Silva threading a pass inside, in and out of the stick of, I believe, Michelin. Greyhounds, though, will keep possession. So at the very least, they can wind down some more clock, hang on to this 4-goal lead. No rush here from the Greyhounds, but they do want to keep the Rangers at bay, and that sure is going to help. It's a 5-goal advantage now for Indianapolis, as Gasol gets her second. Greyhounds one away from double figures today. They ended the regular season on a tear offensively. Had 69 goals in their last 3 regular season games against William Jewell, Quincy, and Missouri Western. Carried that momentum into a win in the GLVC semifinal against Rockhurst before losing to Maryville. And right now, it would appear that extra time off with the first round bye is helping out the Greyhounds. Bunker, though, gets a much-needed draw control for Regis. Still plenty of lacrosse left in this one. Rangers aren't going to go quietly. Pass back to Murphy. And he's able to handle it through some pressure. Valdez throwing far side now. Springman. Quite a ways away from the goal, but we'll see if she can hit something open off the drive here. Instead throws behind. No angle to work around the crease for Getch. Had 3 assists in the first half. Skips one up top to Spar. One more over to Bunker. Trying to roll away from pressure. Cannot do so, but does draw a whistle. And Bunker's going to get a chance at a free position here. Amanda Hurry called for the foul. Hurry shoots, and Regis needed that one. They're back within 4. That's Megan Bunker, rather, with her second goal of the day. .9:24 left to play now in the third. Megan Bunker had a goal on Thursday. She's now up to 24 points, or 24 goals on the season. Make that 34 points on the year. And Bunker will take the draw as well. Rangers would love an opportunity for some make it, take it here. And you had a player step inside of the circle. Looked like maybe early on a Regis. But the officials pointed in the direction of the Rangers. Now both officials are going to talk things over. As it stands right now, Bunker's got the ball in her stick. And it will indeed stay with Regis being their ball. So Abby Mays goes into the attacking zone. Rangers are looking for back-to-back goals. Greyhounds have led by as much as 5. Bunker fighting through a check. Tries to skip a pass inside. Back down on the turf. 50-50 ball. Greyhounds come away with it. It's Mariah Whitfield's pass. Unable to be handled, and it goes out of play. She's trying to find Hollis Rang upfield. Maryville game is underway, by the way. 6.5 left in the first quarter. It's the Saints over the Lakers 2-1. Winner today gets the winner of that matchup next weekend. And a save from Iman on the doorstep. Iman has been fantastic today. Not the normal starter for the Greyhounds, but has held her own. Six saves. That is a season high for her. She had 4 against Rockhurst. Career high is 9. Gazal lost her defender and then is sandwiched. Hits the turf, and it's going to be a call that goes against the Greyhounds on offense. So Gazal is shaken up after the play. Meanwhile, Regis is going the other way on the clear. As Spaeth and the near corner, double teamed. That pass goes outside of the attacking zone. And we get a stoppage in play. And I believe a timeout called by Sarah Kellner. As the reason for that stoppage was 6:26 left to play here in the third quarter. Greyhounds in front by 4. Regis ball when we come back.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Might be the best seat in the house. Get off your phone, man. We're in the third quarter here of the NCAA tournament. Regis down by 4 out of the timeout, trying to mount a comeback here against the Greyhounds. As Sarah Kellner used her first the other day just before we headed to the break. Greyhounds still have all 3 left, if you're wondering. With 6:26 left in the third quarter, Rangers trying to find some more life on offense. And currently, Lillian Iman is making that difficult. The goalie for the Greyhounds, I mentioned a couple times in the broadcast, Ava Graham's the typical starter for this Indianapolis defense, but Iman has been the backbone today in between the pipes, has 6 saves to show for it. Local talent as well from Indianapolis, played at Roncalli. It's not far from here. This is Shea Murphy with the ball. She has been A non-factor thus far today as Murphy is double-teamed. Escapes the pressure. Can she find an open teammate? The look is not there, so Spaeth will help rotate it around. Now it's with Spar. Back with Getch, a facilitator. She's been at multiple times today. Her pass, though, inside was deflected. Massive ground ball here for the Rangers, and they come away with it. Still a chance to score here as we get a stoppage in play. Now play resuming. Bunker losing the ball on the turn, and the ground ball does go to Indianapolis. So the Greyhound defense showing up big time there. Out of the timeout, Regis unable to get any serious scoring threat going as Whitfield in a full sprint is trying to finish off the clear for the Greyhounds. Long pass and pinned along the sideline. De Silva handles it. Five minutes left. As Crouch tried to look for some real estate inside, could not. Greyhounds can afford to be patient on offense. The 4-goal lead, not the most insurmountable thing in the world, but with the way both these defenses can play, a lead like that on the scoreboard, plenty of breathing room. Here's Bladen inside. She scores. And the leading goal scorer for the Greyhounds has really stepped up today, as you would expect. That's her fourth. And doing it unassisted that time around with 4:33 left to play in the third quarter. As we give you another look here, you see Bladen just win her matchup along goal line extended. Tiptoe around that crease. Lead is back up to 5. Greyhound coach Peyton Romig looking for her first NCAA tournament win as a head coach. Had plenty of them as a player. And up to this point, the Greyhounds have done exactly what they need to do to advance. And we'll see if they can do it for the final 4 minutes of this third quarter and 15 more in the fourth. Regis, though, starting to win some draws. And a little bit of physicality here. And it might be some trouble for Amanda Hurry. No, not quite. She just shoved Emily Spaeth to the ground right in front of the official, but no further action necessary deemed by the referee. Now it's back with Bunker. Springman tries to look inside. Hurry had knocked the ball out of her stick, but Springman got it right back. No panic there. Now Justine Spar goes back to Bunker. Now Megan Bunker. No angle there to get a shot off. She throws back across her body. No angle to shoot there for Murphy. Hesitation, though, gets her inside. No look on the shots. But I believe a free position is coming up for the junior. And a yellow card is coming out of the official's pocket. That is the first yellow of the day on Amanda Hurry. It was a physical play from her in the last few moments of this one. And it results with her getting her first yellow and a free position look for Murphy. She could use a breakthrough. Trying to follow up a 7-point performance. Unable to get an angle to get the shot off. And now she is... The Greyhounds, rather, going to draw an offensive call on Murphy. And so a player advantage there quickly coming to an end for Regis. Greyhounds can kind of kill off most of the yellow card. If they can get this ball into their attacking 30, they can afford to be as patient as they would like. Hollis Rang doubled on the ball right now. Regis sideline being very loud, trying to help encourage the team's ride as Crouch throws far side of the field. Calm, cool, and collected from Indianapolis as they rotate that ball out to the far end, finish off the clear, and they've got just under a minute left here on this possession. You would expect them to be as patient as they possibly can with being a player down. Now Crouch just moves the ball back outside of the attacking zone. A little switch off. Ten seconds left on the possession. Greyhounds not being a scoring threat, but doing exactly what they want to do here with a 5-goal lead and a player down. And just use every second of the shot clock, float it to that back corner, get set up on the ride, and wait for Amanda Hurry's yellow card to expire, which should be here soon. As Regis has had some chances on a player advantage this afternoon, but just have been unable to capitalize. 10 turnovers for each team today. Greyhounds, though, have 6 caused turnovers to just 2 for the Rangers. Now Springman with the ball. Can she find a teammate? Now Benton. Pass nearly picked off. One more down on the crease. Cross crease feed to Murphy, and Sky's in the air to snap it out of the turf. And Shea Murphy on the board for the first time today. Leads back down to 4, and the Rangers really needed that one. And probably a weight lifted off the shoulders of Murphy as well to get that first goal to go. We'll see if that can possibly create some momentum for her as we head into the fourth quarter. And the Rangers needing some more goals to come back in this one. They did lead at one point back in the first when it was 2-1. Greyhounds followed up that 1-goal disadvantage back when it was 2-1 with a 3-goal scoring run that brought it up to 4-2. They have been in front ever since. And Bladen coming away with the ball in the draw control here. Under a minute left to go in the third. Greyhounds got a late goal in the first quarter. Can they get another here? Michelin had to bobble the ball for a moment before controlling it. Now 30 seconds left to play in the third. Unless Peyton Romig uses one here, she'll have all 3 timeouts at her disposal in the fourth. Savino. 15 to shoot. That shot was deflected on its way to the goal. Getch lost it on the rebound. Makes the save. Rebound still alive here. Greyhounds get it and score. Third time is the charm for Indianapolis. The heroics from Getch just not quite enough there as the loose change popped out in front and Indianapolis capitalized. And it is the freshman Kendall Conrad credited with it, her second today. Not the prettiest goal you'll ever see, but you'll always take a goal when you're able to bury one like that. With 5 seconds left to play here in the third. Greyhounds answering back after allowing a goal with another one of their own to extend that lead back up to 5. Likely not going to be enough time here for any offense. Before we get to the fourth quarter, Greyhounds will be 15 minutes away from advancing to the next round in the NCAA tournament. We'll see if they can get the job done. Stay with us here. It is Indianapolis in front, 11-6 over Regis.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
You're looking at the officials here. Have done a fantastic job in the last two games that they've had to keep up with these teams here. The NCAA tournament had that opening round game on Thursday between Ashland and Regis. That's how Regis got here today against Indianapolis. They need to find their goal-scoring touch here headed into the fourth quarter because they trailed by 5, 11-6. Greyhounds looking to advance to the next round. A winner today will get the winner of Maryville and Grand Valley State, who are playing now in the early minutes of the second quarter. That game tied at 3-all. So a very competitive one between both of those teams playing out in Missouri. Maryville getting the 1 seed out of the Midwest region, so they're the other host. NCAA.com is where you can find the rest of the scores in the D2 Women's Lacrosse Tournament as it is second round action today. Tampa getting a win earlier. They did wrap up their game before everybody else, but all the other games of the bracket live at the moment, and some of them, like this one here, beginning to wind down as we've got 15 minutes left of action. And the Greyhounds are 15 minutes away from getting their first NCAA tournament win in the Peyton Romig era. Romig in just her second year leading this Greyhound program. Was a player here, won a title here in 2022. And the last time the Greyhounds hosted an NCAA tournament game was the year that they won the title. Of course, tournament was a little bit different back then. You just had one host per region and expanded this year. Added AQs as well. Ashland a beneficiary of that. That's how they wound up playing on Thursday. Put up a heck of a fight against Regis. So here we go. Final 15 minutes. Second round. The Division II Women's Lacrosse Tournament. Regis in need of some draw controls. They get one here courtesy of Bunker. Good work from her in the ground ball. So how aggressive does Regis want to be on offense? How much do they want to push? Trailing by 5. Having to go against Lillian Iman in between the pipes. She's got 6 saves so far today. Not the typical starter for the Greyhounds, but has done very well. And getting the nod today. Graham unable to play. Ava Graham being the normal starter. It's an early call here in the fourth quarter from the officials, and play gets going once more. Sean Moser, feet inside, is deflected off a shaft, and Greyhounds will pick up the ground ball, but it's back down on the ground. But a call going against Regis. We'll give it to Indianapolis. It's Michelin. That's the 11th turnover today from the Rangers. They've been national semifinalists on 3 different occasions. Regis, though, still looking for that first national title. Sarah Kellner, over 200 career wins with this program. Started as their head coach in 2007. Bladen on the far side. And a nice move from Conrad to shake her defender free, as the lead is extended for the Greyhounds off the hat trick from the freshman. And it's a great play individually from 77 and White to get the hands free on the dodge that starts from X. As you'll get another look at it here in just a moment. And no help there defensively. And Conrad capitalizes 12-6. The way things went in the first quarter of this one, not the score that you would have expected, but the Greyhounds have really found a way to take advantage of their possessions on offense. It's the second hat trick of the season for the freshman. Another draw control for the Greyhounds. A chance to really put their foot on the gas pedal, and a whistle from the referee. And a player advantage, I believe, coming up for Indianapolis. Green card given out to Justine Spar. She was well off the ball. I didn't quite see what happened, but a 1-minute player advantage coming up for the Greyhounds, starting at about 12 minutes and 48 seconds left in the fourth. At a 7-goal lead would be huge at this point in the game. The way the Greyhounds have been able to win draws and how tough they've made it on Regis defensively. And 7 goals could be plenty to get Indianapolis to the finish line. This is Michelin, who's going to get a look here from the 8-meter, just waiting for the all clear from the referee, and decides not to shoot. Indianapolis wanting to eat some more clock, work the ball around a little bit longer. No need to rush here with just under a minute left here on the possession timer. Now we'll get a look in front. That shot off a post. And Valdez coming away with the ground ball. Shaw Moser trying to shadow her defender, finish off this clear. Back to even strength. First possession of the fourth quarter for Regis. What do the Rangers have in the tank? Trailing by 6. Greyhounds with the fresh legs. They had that first round bye. Rangers had a game on Thursday. Great look on the crease is Getch, who gets a goal. Rangers with some life, as Becky Getch scores her first goal of the day. She's been great today as a facilitator at 3 assists already. Now a goal makes it 4 points, her total. 4 different players now with 4 points between both teams. Gazal, Bladen, and Conrad each with 4 points today. Grand Valley State, by the way, currently leading Maryville 5-4. 11-17 remaining in the second quarter out there in Missouri. Could you imagine the winner of this one? We'll get to a stream as quick as they can to see who emerges victorious out there. There's be still one more game after this to decide who takes the Midwest region. Now Bunker loses the ball. No pressure, though, in the pickup. Rangers needed that draw control. And now they need a good look on Cage. Bunker out to the wing. Nothing there for Getch. She just had a goal, but she does draw a whistle. And a free position look coming up for Becky Getch. We'll see if she decides to shoot and score her second goal of the afternoon. Foul called on Hollis Rang for the Greyhounds. Getch passing out of it. One more inside, and that's back-to-back goals for Regis. Down by 4. You get some quick offense like that. There's plenty of life left in this game. And it is Shea Murphy credited with the goal, and that is who the Rangers are going to want in the goal-scoring column. Murphy leading that department for her team this season. Gets her second. Both the goals have come in the second half today. She was held scoreless through the first 2 quarters. She's got a goal in every game this season now except for one. Murphy, the junior from Lakewood, Colorado, playing on a yellow card as well. 10:44 remaining in the fourth quarter. Rangers in need of a possession here, but draw control goes to the Greyhounds. De Silva back out to the far side. Gazal, 4 points today. Actually, that's Savino, pardon me. Now Conrad out to the far corner. Now a good feed inside. Catch and shoot. Greyhounds respond. And it's a great ball movement. Pays off for the Greyhounds. And a great response as well after giving up a couple of goals. Able to get one back against Regis. With that lead back up to 5. And Ella Fornick is credited with the goal. Fornick, in that first matchup, she tied the game at 8-8. She had 3 goals against Regis when they first met this season. And then that goal eventually set up the Kendall Conrad game winner. This one not quite as close, but still plenty of time with 9:55 left. As you saw the scoring touch from the Rangers, they had 2 quick goals to start this quarter. They've proven they can do it. Now can they replicate it? It makes it hard when you lose a draw control. So a chance for the Greyhounds to further their advantage in the time of possession category, and who knows, maybe get that lead back up to 6 as Conrad from X. See if the Greyhounds can initiate offense from below goal line extended. 60 seconds left here on the shot clock. Versace. De Silva. No room to shoot with the left hand. Well, she decides otherwise. There's a low-angle shot. Getch may have gotten a piece of it. This ball still up for grabs on the far side of the field. It ricochets back toward the cage. De Silva hits the ground ball after her own shot. And the officials here are going to talk about maybe a shot clock reset or not. It's 8:51 of the game clock, 33 on the shot clock. Not sure if Getch got a piece of the De Silva shot. Officials would have the better view of it, and they say that's exactly what happened. 55 seconds now is what the shot clock shows. So that works well in the favor of Indianapolis, up by 5. The clock is beginning to become their friend. So that was Ali Savino who was shoved to the ground. It draws the yellow card, which is given to Megan Bunker, her first today. As the physical play comes out here, as the Rangers are wanting to force turnovers, especially when the Greyhounds get a shot clock reset like we saw earlier this possession. Now Blade in with the ball, 45 in white, 4 goals so far today. Shooting space. See if Fornick can get consecutive scores. Greyhounds not as hungry as some teams might be to shoot in some of these situations on free position looks. And so Fornick will just back it back out. Time is on the side of the Greyhounds. Skip pass through traffic. Another free position look coming up here for the Greyhounds. And they'll have to pass it back behind the cage, getting more time on that shot clock. Down to 55 now. Now Bladen works it around. And she gets it right back. Through traffic. The catch and shoot for Crouch. What a feed. What a shot. Make it 14 for the Greyhounds. And Indianapolis can start to feel it with the way their offense is clicking right now. If they keep playing this way, they'll be on to the next round of the tournament. Still a lot of time left in this one. That's the first assist of the day, by the way, for Olivia Bladen. 7:45 left to go. What kind of opportunities can Regis try and conjure up? Much needed draw control win there for the Rangers. Back up to Bunker. Good look inside. Turn, shoot. Iman makes the save. Rebound, touch shot is there. So quick answer for the Rangers. Exactly what they needed in that scenario. It started with a pass inside from Bunker. Iman made an impressive stop, but a rebound shot score. Quick stick. Is how the Rangers get the goal, and that is Shane Murphy, who's now got a hat trick. Mentioned she was quiet there in the first half, but her presence is starting to be felt now for Regis, and we'll see if they can start to play some of that make it, take it lacrosse that you can do when you win some of these draws. They had 14 draw controls in the last matchup with the Greyhounds. It's not quite been the same story today. Michelin. The Greyhounds back with it. Quickly got the ball into their attacking zone. So plenty of time to work with on the shot clock as a result, as Bladen has the ball now. Valdez matched up with her. So this is Versace. Those two will play some pass and catch along the near side. Bladen avoiding some pressure. Regis wanting to force some sort of turnover. Greyhounds playing some keep away. Crouch out to Bladen. Tried to find a teammate. Now finding a cutter. Michelin goes low to high on the shot. And just like that, the Greyhounds answer. Little lob pass inside. Michelin going low to high on the shot. A great look from Bladen. Even better shot placement from Milena Michelin. As we get a timeout on the field. As you get one more look at that Michelin goal. We had to break. 6:13 left in the fourth. Greyhounds in front, 15-9.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
So the timeout before the break was called by Sarah Kellner. She's down to just one remaining on the day. Then in between that, Abby Mays, the sophomore defender for the Rangers, was down the field for a little bit. Medical staff came out to tend to her. She's walking on her own power, back at her own sideline now. So that is good news for Regis. The bad news, though, for the Rangers is they've got quite the hole to dig themselves out of, down 15-9 with 6 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter here in the second round of the NCAA tournament. It'll be interesting to know what the message was from Sarah Kellner during that timeout. As a 6-goal deficit with this much time left in the game is difficult to overcome, but it certainly is possible. Starts with winning draw controls and then creating some good looks on offense. We will see if Megan Bunker and company in midfield can get the draw control and complete step one of that process. You do step two, and then you rinse and repeat. 6:13 Once again, it's how much time we got left here in this one. Winner plays either Maryville or Grand Valley State next weekend. And that game is for the Midwest Region title. So the Greyhounds open to take care of business and move on. Michelin gets the ground ball, throws across the field. To a big draw control win there for the Greyhounds. They can afford to be even more patient. 6 goals matches their largest of the day. Versace shoots on the run. Getch takes care of it. You wondered how patient the Greyhounds were going to be there. An opportunity that Versace thought was too good to pass up. Getch was able to take care of it for her 9th save of the day. That matches how many saves she had in the first matchup against the Greyhounds. Bunker into the attacking zone now. Now here's Murphy with the ball. Hat-trick here in the second half for 19 in blue. Now finds Spar. She's got a couple of goals today. Springman, pass inside. Somehow found a teammate. Gatch unable to get the shot off. Whistle blows from the official. Gatch gets a look on a free position here as the yellow card comes out of the referee's pocket for a stick check that was up near the head of Getch. You got a plethora of Greyhounds running to the sideline, looking to see which one is going to take a seat here for the yellow card. It's Mariah Whitfield. Her first today. Player advantage for Regis. Can they take advantage of it? Bunker will try to do just that. Weaving inside, shot and goal for Megan Bunker. She's got 3. That is still possible for Regis with 4:42 left to play. As you get a look back at the Bunker goal. So the Rangers capitalize on the player up. Bladen and Bunker back to work at midfield. Murphy and Valdez on the edges of the circle for the Rangers. Michelin will chase this one down for the Greyhounds. Rolls away from the pressure. Indianapolis still has all 3 timeouts left if they'd like to use one. Fornick with the ball. Greyhound fans starting to sense the victory. This is Conrad. And she's got room to run as the freshman try to shoot. She'll roll away from the pressure here. 45 on the shot clock. Still some time the Greyhounds can let trickle off of what's remaining in this game. Yosemite. More patience from the Greyhounds as Fornick works out to the far side. Now she'll roll back. Ten seconds left on the shot clock as Indianapolis is one step closer to their 14th win on the season. As they just throw it away, they'll let the shot clock wind down. 8-8 your halftime score between Grand Valley and Maryville, by the way. As the final timeout with 2:50 left in the fourth is called by Sarah Kellner. And so Regis will take a break. We'll step aside as well. Rangers down by 5.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division.
Yep. Just about ready for play to resume as the Greyhounds are wrapping things up and their timeout huddle after Rangers head coach Sarah Kellner used her last timeouts of the evening. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in this one. Greyhounds, you would think, have it all but wrapped up and are ready to move on to the next round of the NCAA tournament. Peyton Romig looking for her first tournament win as a head coach in her second year with this program. That's Abby Mays back out of the field. She was shaken up earlier this quarter, so it's good to see her back out. The Rangers having all sorts of trouble getting it into their attacking zone. They will with Valdez now. Now along the wing, Springman will shoot. Iman makes the stop. The backup goalie for the Greyhounds has done her job very well today from start to finish. And a huge stop to put an exclamation point on this one. It's the product out of Roncalli High School. Not far from where she's playing in college. Has done very well today and just her second start. And this score holds. It'll be her second win of the season as well. Both of her starts coming in postseason play. First one came in the semifinal of the GLVC tournament. And then second one, obviously, today in the second round of the tournament. Greyhounds really took advantage of the bye week as well. Or the bye in the tournament. Didn't have to play on Thursday. Regis did. So the rest has really helped out the Greyhounds as they'll try to use what they have left in the tank to run out the clock here today. Bladen along the far side will sprint past Bunker. Now skip pass as Bladen unable to connect in the far side with Gazal. 13 seconds left. Open on the cross crease feed was Versace, but Getch with a heads-up play to intercept the pass. So under a minute left to go in this one. Greyhounds will get their 8th win on their home field today as well. And an immediate turnover. Ball back in the stick of Iman. Half a minute left to go in this one. Greyhounds will move on. Once again, they play the winner of Grand Valley State and Maryville. That game in halftime right now. What matters in the moment, though, for Indianapolis is a victory today, and they are moving on. For Regis, another very impressive season is in the books for them. They get a tournament win against Ashland in their first ever meeting with that program. It's their 8th consecutive tournament appearance. A team that made the semifinal last year, but the road comes to an end in 2025 for the Rangers. It is the Greyhounds who are celebrating today. 15-10 is your final. And it is enough to move on to the next round of the NCAA tournament as they await the final of Maryville and Grand Valley State later this afternoon. But for now, it is celebrations for the home side. And once again, we thank you for joining us on the stream today. It's the Greyhounds who scored the first goal today. Regis had a 2-1 lead at one point, but Indianapolis fired off 3 straight. They never lost the lead since. And for the second time this season on this very field, it is the Greyhounds over the Rangers. One more time, I'm Harrison Silcox for you. Appreciate you tuning in today. So you've been watching the Division II Women's Lacrosse NCAA Tournament. Greyhounds moving on past the second round.